Good morning, it's Sherry Donovan, CEO of Canadian Home Builders Association, Nova Scotia, and I'm here today with Ashley Raymaker from Classic Roofing and Siding, and we're also going to talk to Grant Cadeau, owner of Classic Roofing and Siding, in just a few moments. Welcome, thanks for letting us into your office
and
taking a look around.
Asking us.
So let's talk about roofs. In particular, let's talk about trends. What are you seeing lately versus maybe a few years ago in terms of what people are asking for trends?
Well, much better quality products, that's for sure.
So what do you mean by better quality products?
Well, before they used to use a lot of the 3-tab traditional shingle. Right now we're into a laminated asphalt shingle that is much better quality. Yeah. And we're also doing a lot more metal, steel, much more durable products. People are in it for the long run. They want the best of the best.
Why is safety so important to your company?
Well, for a lot of reasons. I mean, a lot of the best guys out there, if you don't keep them safe, you're not going to have them on your team very long. Because something's going to happen and they're not going to be able to work anymore. So you really want to be able to preserve them. You know, one thing we always say to our guys is the last thing we want to do is call your family at the end of the day and say you're not coming home.
We want everyone to return to home to their families at the end of the day, but especially when you're running a professional company and you have so much to lose. And now we're talking to the owner of Classic Roofing and Siding, Grant Cadeau. Thank you, you and Ashley and your team, for allowing us in today to have a chat about what you do.
Oh, I'm glad you came in. It was a good chance to clean the office.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe talk a little bit about how you started your company.
I started back in 1989 after a few years of doing it through my own name. I decided this was something that I probably should do for a living. I became a petroleum engineer out of school, and there was no offshore for us to do any work with at the time, so I got into construction. Went from a couple of crews running around trying to keep them fed with work and with materials to a few more crews to I don't have any time for this, I need to work in an office with the foreman and some more people, and it just kind of grew from there.
And would you say the majority of your business is roofing or siding?
It used to be siding majority, but now I'd have to say it's roofing. Probably about 55, 45, pretty close. Most people, if you ask them quietly, secretively perhaps, in close quarters, they would say, I'd like to go away for a couple of weeks, have somebody that I really trust come in, do all this work for me, don't charge me a dime until I'm completely happy and had a few days or at least a month to see how it performs, and then I'll send you a check. Well, you know something? I'd be happy with that. We've built a company that can do that for you, and if you were to leave and come back a couple weeks later, I'd like to think that the only thing you would notice is the change in your home.
When you think about the growth and the change in the industry itself, maybe speak to that. What are some changes that we've seen?
A lot of things came about by weather around here. Atlantic Canada was hit rampantly with a lot of windstorms, as you know, with Hurricane Juan and so on. We were using a 3-tab shingle, organic base. The matrix of such was nothing but recycled telephone books. And we paid the price for that. We had a better product. Unfortunately, it wasn't available to consumers here because none of the big dealers were bringing it in for us. But this laminate shingle we speak about today takes the 3-tab shingle and makes it all 1-tab. And then they take the time to cement down a couple of more what they call dragon's teeth on top of that to give it more weight. So a tab today weighs 5 times, if you will, what it used to weigh when it was a 3-tab shingle with that extra weight. Better adhesives to bond the shingle down. Better withstanding winds and so on, and a better look too, I might say. It looks more like a wood than it ever did.
And any advice for a homeowner who is looking to change their roofing or siding?
Well, you know, the same advice I'd give today I'd give 20 years ago. Do your homework. Don't hire the first person that walks in the door with the nicest smile. I find if you have someone come into your home and do a presentation, show you all the products and say everything that they have to say, and if you have absolutely no questions at the end of that presentation, chances are that person has been in a home before and knows what he's talking about. If you have more questions for the estimator than he has for you, then there's probably a concern.
Well, thank you for having us in today, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks for tuning in to Table Talk Tuesdays, and we will see you next week when we find out more about what's going on in the industry.
Goodbye.